Okay, welcome back to the channel and thank you for pressing the play button. What I want to teach you this week is about shoulder playing, okay, and that's the why it's important, and it's something that doesn't get trained enough really when they're actually practicing. So come on, let's go do it. Okay, so shoulder plane, all right, so it's really important you understand this, and what we want to try to do is we really want to try and turn our shoulders, okay, around our spine angle. Okay, so my spine is running at an angle like so, and I want to turn my shoulders 90 degrees to that angle, all right. And what we see a lot of amateurs doing is if I do it this way around, excuse the mic, but if I don't turn my shoulders around 90 degrees around that angle on the backswing and on the downswing, is we see a lot of amateurs lifting up through maybe not using their hips properly or using the ground properly, or we see them going too far down. One of the key things we see a lot of golfers try and do is to try and swing on what we call a one plane, where they feel like they've got to get the shoulders to swing on the same plane as that, and this way I'm going to have to try and get my, to swing at the ball. I mean, I've got a driver here, but if I was hitting a 7-iron, I'd have to really tilt my shoulders down to point, oh God, that's a strain, to point at the ball there. Not really, we don't really want to be doing that because that's, it's going to hurt you. I've got to go from this position to suddenly this position. It's what we call a rock and block, okay? John Jacobs used to call it rocking and blocking. We see good players tend to do that, especially on the block, on the follow through, they tend to block it this way. You want to try and get the sense of everything moving in a circle around you. You want your shoulders to be moving in a circular motion around your body, so they're going to be turning at an angle that you set at your spine. Okay, so obviously posture is very, very important. So to get good posture, I'm going to stand here just nice and normal, stand nice and straight. You can see that my back is arched here. It doesn't actually, I can get my hand behind there, so there's a slight curve in my spine, and my head doesn't actually hit the shaft either. Depends on your natural roundness of your back as well. So every posture is going to have a different look. And all I'm going to do from here, from just standing here, is I'm just going to literally push my hips back. Okay, I'm going to maintain that curve here. I'm not going to try and straighten everything off or anything like that. Nice and relaxed from here. And my arms are just going to hang down in front of me in a relaxed position. So you've got to get good posture first. One of the key things for good posture is to feel like your knees are over your ankles rather than pushing too far forward or too far back like so. Just going to keep them nice and flexed. There's a very slight tense in them. You don't need to be like proper knee flex, because this actually ends up restricting any leg movement. Okay, and all I'm going to do from here, you can do it this way. It's just a simple drill here. What I've done is I've put another ball out here about 3 foot away from my ball that I would be hitting, let's say. And all I'm going to do from here is I can either put it across my shoulders, depends if it hurts you. If you've got flexibility, just put it across your shoulders like so, or you can put it behind your shoulders like this. It depends on however you feel, all right? So from here, I've got this across my shoulders, I've got my stance, I've taken my posture, I'm in a good stable position here, and all I'm going to do from here is just rotate my shoulders so that I get the feeling that my shaft is now pointing towards that ball that's 3 foot away. Now this is going to set me a nice shoulder plane, as opposed to if I'm up here I'm too high, if I'm down here I'm too low. It's going to set me in a nice position, and I've got the grip end pointing at that ball there. I'm going to move up into my left hand side, and I'm going to replace the grip end with the club head end to feel like that's pointing at that ball there, rather than the one at the ball I'm trying to hit, okay, or too high. It's pointing at there. I've maintained shoulder plane. Okay, I'm moving at 90-degree angle around my spine, and that's really something to have. I mean, sometimes all you need is just an image, okay, a powerful image of that, rather than actually anything else. Just an image in your brain of the task. Okay, what is the task? I'm going to turn my shoulders around my spine angle. That sometimes is just enough, and that's really, really a key thought to have when you're swinging. It doesn't matter what club you're having. I want to try and turn my shoulders around turn my shoulders around 90 degrees of my my posture plane on my spine, as opposed to we see golfers coming out of posture and their shoulders turn too flat, okay, or they gain too much. It's very, very simple. If you sometimes just putting it in your head that that's all you're trying to do is just to turn at 90-degree angles to the spine, it actually is just enough sometimes. So just back and through, okay? I can really just feel that motion. I'm not thinking of anything else really. I didn't think about my legs, I didn't think about the club, the hands, the arms. I just thought about turning my shoulders at 90 degrees to my spine angle. So back and through. It's going to keep the club head moving on a consistent arc around my body, which is really, really important, because we, as you know, I'm a big advocate that the golf club swings around in a circle, okay? And it's really important you understand that. It'd be the same as if I was stood nice and straight, okay, and I was just doing swings around my body. My shoulders would turn naturally 90 degrees around my spine angle. I wouldn't go like this, or I wouldn't twist. They would just turn naturally around my spine angle. Well, it's the same, because the only difference is I've tilted from the hips and I'm just moving around the spine angle, and it's exactly the same. So it's the same feeling as if I was stood up straight swinging a golf club, as opposed to bending forward from the hips, which is all I'm doing here really. So all I'm doing from here is I'm just practicing, just turning back and around my shoulder plane. And that's really a key area to work on, and spend a bit of time, especially if you know, you're aware, especially if you video yourself, okay, or you're having online lessons, especially if you see it in the mirror or whatever it is, you know that you've got a bit of a wonky movement going on. You're getting consistency in your ball striking. Try and turn and learn to turn your shoulders around your spine angle. If you can maintain that spine angle, that's really, really important. So sometimes it's just having a good visual of it, or a good image of what you're trying to achieve, because sometimes the tasks that you set your brain need to be simple, okay? They don't need to be overthought. So practicing that movement and having an idea of it is important. I would first of all have something out in front of you, practice the movement, get a feel for what it feels like in your body, and then I would gradually just move up to hitting a shot. And I would just have a quick go. So I'd practice it. I can feel that angle here, feel it here, and I'll just maintain that thought and almost move straight up into hitting a shot, and just get that feeling of just back and just through, okay? I can feel myself maintaining that spine angle. If you struggle with it immensely and you are really still struggling with it, and you find it too hard to do, it could be because you're not flexible enough in your hip area, okay, or your posterior chain is not strong enough. So you need to maybe just do some stretches, just sort of, stretching out and just touch your toes or anything like that. Just practice out stretching the hamstrings and so on. This will give you a bit more flexibility, especially as you get older like me. If you can learn to do that, then you'll find it a lot easier to move, and you'll have less back pain, all right? Great drill. Practice that as much as you possibly can. You will improve your ball striking, because your consistency of the arc will improve. It's not going to be wafting all over the place as you swing back and through. All right. Anyway, I hope that helps you. I hope it's very easy to understand. Please comment below if you have any questions or any thoughts about that. It's as old as time, to be honest with you, swinging around your spine angle. But yeah, any questions on that, please let me know. Thank you for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Anything you want to see in the future, please again comment below and let me know if there's anything you want me to be talking about. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next week.